Yeah, good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope everybody's feeling incredible this morning. Um, Not quite sure what's going on with the live line this morning, but we just gonna keep it moving. Technology, you gotta love it. But this morning, what we wanted to talk about is character. And even more than just talking about character, what we wanted to do is chop it up about specific questions you can ask yourself that'll help your character get stronger. Because what we recognize is that real wisdom doesn't come from just time passing. What we know is wisdom comes from introspection, it comes from the time passing, and then it comes from the thinking and the contemplating and the vibing out with what exactly happened that time, what exactly happened during that experience. So this morning, my goal is to give you some questions that will allow you to reflect on yourself. Like that song say, do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Y'all know that one? So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. Share this with an entrepreneur that you got love for. Right now it's check-in time. Let them know, rep your city. Let them know where you're checking in from, what kind of business you have, how you help people. Good morning, Taisha. Glad you made it in, Queen. What's up, Nikki? Good morning, good morning. My man Keith made it in. Okay, Kenya's in the house. Let's get it. What's up, Chanel? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the live line. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with it, Tammy. You know, we gonna work it through though. I have no idea what's going on. We're gonna figure it out though. All right, Murfreesboro. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it, Chanel. We gonna figure it out though. Crystal is in the house. Let's go. Nah, Ed, not at all. I leave that to the professionals. All right, Sade made it in this morning. All right, New York City is in the house. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the live line, everybody. We asking about it. Is anybody able to get into the live line? Yeah, good morning, Yuli. Glad you made it in. My man Michael Douglas is in the house. Dr. Marilyn. All right. Everything happens for a reason. It's all good. Make sure you like this thing. Make sure you comment. Let them know we in the house. Let them know we here, y'all. Yeah, appreciate it, Tammy. Okay, B Brown, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, good morning, millionaire. All right, y'all. So we just gonna get this. Yeah, Ray made it in. I'm glad to see that. My man Jerry Ferguson made it in. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that live line this morning, but it's all good. Miss Cochran's in the house. All right, let's get it. So yeah, we'll get to the bottom of what's going on with the live line soon enough. Don't trip. Good morning, Tess. Mike Stroud in the house. Um, we'll get to that in a minute. Don't worry about it. But this morning, what we're doing is we're talking about 7 different questions that can help you build your character. Because I don't know about you, but in my experience, it feels to me like people are way more obsessed with their Facebook news feed than they are with the human beings around them or with the internal struggles that they're dealing with. It feels to me like between social media, these dating apps, these streaming services that got 10 million different TV shows for you to watch, it's almost like we got so much pleasure that we've lost joy. We've lost happiness. We got so much cheap dopamine out here that if you ain't careful, we begin to lose touch with the things that actually matter. You know what I mean? Have you forgotten what even makes life worth living? Have you forgotten about the things that make it so that you have some joy in your life? And don't get me wrong, these different forces can be used for good. Like you can use social media to do a lot of good. But all I'm saying is it's more vital to check on your character than check on your notifications. You know what I'm saying? Which part really matters when it's all said and done? How many likes you got? Or is it more about I don't know, how you are going to leave a legacy, how you're going to lead and then leave a legacy on this planet? And I know if you tune into calls like this, then I already know what your answer is. Uh, and so this morning, what I hope to do is give you a few questions you can add to your power book and therefore add to your power. So these are 7 questions designed to help you reflect on your character, not your reputation. Never forget, reputation is what people think you are. Your character is who you truly are. And we're all constantly and consistently working to build our character. Is that fair enough? All right, so here's the first one, y'all. Do you help when nobody is watching? Do you help when nobody's watching, Eugene? You know what I mean? A lot of times we'll give to the homeless when somebody can see it, or we'll feed the homeless if it's all over social media, or we'll go help out at that shelter. We're gonna, I used to be that way, but now I've gotten to the point, and this is not to judge anybody else, this is not to put myself up like I'm so highly evolved, but I will tell you this. I used to be the kind of person that, and what I told myself I was doing was inspiring others to do the same thing. But a lot of times, what you're doing when you do this stuff in front of the public is you're looking for likes, you're looking for validation. I dare you take a step back and put yourself in somebody else's shoes for once. Remember how it feels to be the new guy, right? That's at the job, or the new guy that's at the school. Do you remember that? We've all been there in one way or another. And it makes a world of difference to have somebody rocking with us that'll just give us a hand, that'll help us out without worrying about if somebody else sees it. You never know how much of a positive impact you can make on somebody's life by just giving them a little random conversation, just giving them a kind compliment. These are the little things that can actually change a person's life. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching. I had to have a conversation with my daughter about this because my daughter fancies herself somewhat like the cool kid and all of that. And, she was caught up in herself, like how people are treating her, how people are judging her. Are people going to be nice to her? And I said, hey, you want me to relieve you of that stress? She said, please, Dad. I said, check it out. What if you focus on being nice to somebody else? Not who's being nice to you, but what if you focus on that girl who's sitting by herself and nobody will be her friend, and you go sit beside her? What if you focus on the new person in your classroom who hasn't made any friends yet, and then you offer to help her with her homework, or you offer to be her study partner? This is the stuff that's going to make you feel good. This is the stuff that makes you feel fulfilled. The first question is, do you help when nobody else will know about it? Do you help when nobody else is watching? Or are you playing status games? Millionaires. There's a famous question that I dare you ask yourself. I'd love to see what your comments are. Would you prefer to be the best lover in the world and everybody think you're the worst? Or would you prefer to be the worst lover in the world and everybody think you're the best? Which one would you prefer, if you're being honest? If you're being honest, you feel me, Drew? If you're being this will tell you, and you don't even have to say it out loud if you don't want, but at least you know from now on whether you're playing status games. All right, I'm gonna move along though. Here's number 2. Do you look for glory, or do you seek to be a good person? Do you look for glory, or do you seek to be a good person? I know we all strong, we all personally developed, but most of us care what people think. After all, it can pay you dividends to have people in the business world like you. We know a customer is not going to buy from you until they like you and trust you, et cetera, and so forth. So obviously, this is why we go to job interviews in a suit, not a bikini. Is that right? You're constantly in a position where you kind of have to care what people think to a degree, right? But if you're constantly trying to look good to the people you perceive as higher up, How does that really make you feel? Right? How does that really make you feel? Do you sleep better at night knowing your words are only skin deep? Huh? Because this is the thing. If you're a good person, it's always going to connect you to the right people in the end. And then those people are going to have your back instead of turning on you later on. Here's number 3. Are you obsessed with who you are? Are you obsessed with who you are? On the road to success, it's real easy to become obsessed with your self-image. It's real easy to forget what really matters, but it ain't all about you. While you in the gym getting ripped and you ready to take on the world, right, fellas? Remember why you started. Maybe it was to help other people with their confidence. Maybe you wanted to be a role model to the little guy. Hustle hard, of course, right? But don't make it all about you. You're sapping your life of fulfillment the more you become. You may want to write this in the comments. You may want to write this in your power book. All suffering comes from self-absorption. All suffering comes from self-absorption. Oh, well, no, I'm really hurting because my child is going through that. Maybe, but a lot of times you're hurting because of what people are going to think about you because your child is going through that. You know what I'm saying? All suffering comes from self-absorption. Pain is inevitable, right? But growth is optional. You got me? Are you obsessed with yourself, or are you, kind of focused on becoming valuable rather than successful? Something interesting to think about. Here's the 4th question I got for you. Do you remember where you came from? This will help you build your character. Do you remember where you came from? There are way too many grown adults that act like they still try to sit at the cool table in high school, like I just now talked about, right? Why waste your life being that superficial? If we could stop trying to impress, we could actually have a real conversation about real things that matter. You hear me? Don't always assume you're right. There's a difference between being obsessed with being right and being obsessed with having a right answer. There's a huge difference between being worried about hearing about blind spots versus being worried about having blind spots. You get what I mean? Check it out. Don't ever get too self-righteous to think you're better than other people. Remember where you came from, because it's way better to be real than to waste your life trying to win people over. And you're trying to win people over that care about all the wrong things. We've all seen that meme on Instagram where it's like, stop wasting money you don't have on things you don't need to impress people you don't like. Somebody with me? Here's the 5th one I got for you. Do you believe in grit? Do you believe in grit? Mental toughness. Millionaires, can't nothing in this world replace hard work. And there are times where it's going to feel like you're spinning your wheels and ain't nothing paying off. But I'm going to tell you something. Work always works, because there's the work that you're doing on the project, but then there's the work that the project is doing on you. You giving your all is going to create skill sets. It's going to create awareness of resources that you just wouldn't have had without this project, that you just wouldn't have had if you'd only been given 50% of yourself. Give it your all. Throughout life, you ain't always going to love the work you're doing 100%, but give it 100% anyway. Why? Because that says a lot about your character. Working hard in the little jobs now is going to push you to do more of the work you love and make you appreciate it later. All of a sudden, this is going to feel like an opportunity rather than a burden, because you're finally able to do the thing that you've always wanted to do. Am I making sense? And that's a life hack. I talked about that in one of my reels. If y'all follow me on Instagram, or if y'all check out my reels and whatnot, I was just now talking about how at the end of the day, there's a mental toughness hack called, are you really interested in it? Because if you're really passionate about it, if you've made it fun for yourself, then you're going to stick to it longer than everybody else. So I dare you consider that. Here's the 6th question I got for you. Do you believe giving is what matters most? Do you believe giving is what matters most? This is question number 6 I got for you that'll build your character. Because if you show up to the work site, or you show up in front of that client, or when you're just thinking to yourself like, hey, success is just about me. If you make success only about yourself, you're going to end up unfulfilled. You're going to climb the heck out that ladder, and you're going to discover too late that it's leaning against the wrong building. If you look back on your life and at the times you were most full of joy, it was probably when you was giving to somebody else. Ain't nothing better than having something good happen and you got somebody you love to share it with. And I'm going to give you another one. When you were the most depressed, I bet you were nitpicking every little thing about yourself. I bet you were self-absorbed, right? What's the moral of the story? Focusing outward is what's going to give your life greater meaning. In other words, the most selfish thing you can do, I don't mind you being selfish. I just prefer you be long-term selfish. And check it out, y'all. Long-term, the most selfish thing you can do is serve. The most selfish thing you can do for yourself is serve somebody else. Can somebody type that in the comments for me? The most selfish thing you can do for yourself is serve somebody else. Here's question number 7 I got for you. That's exactly right, Sade. The universe gives to the givers and takes from the takers. That's exactly right. I ain't hit that one in a long time. That's one of them Hazikisms I don't forget. All right, check it out. Here's number 7. Do you have faith in something greater than yourself? That's the last one I got for you this morning. Do you have faith in something greater than yourself? Do you have faith? We got to ask ourselves, did we make this life about something greater than just ourselves, right? Give this life everything you got. But remember to make your mission about something that's bigger. Like that's one of my favorite Beyonce songs. That joint, bigger than you, bigger than me. Yeah, I know that joint. Like, check it out. You got to give it everything you got because this is bigger than you. We're all standing on the shoulders of giants. Last week, I had to give a motivational speech to the elderly. We were in a facility where, a lot of times the seniors in the area will go to do yoga and do their Zumba thing and all of that. And I was like, dang, how do I motivate the elderly when it's like, and then I caught myself. It's like, when what, Hazik? When what? I know you ain't about to say when it's pretty. Nah, it ain't over. Nah, it ain't over. And then it gave me what I needed to be able to talk to them. Because a lot of times in this ageist society, we're taught that your life is over when you get older. And that's a joke. Do you have faith in something greater? We're all here because we're all here. If you weren't here, my life would be different. Even if I'm not aware enough to see it immediately, my life would be different. You hear me? We are all a part of this universe. We are all a part of a whole. And the more you understand you're a part of a whole, the more you can live your life in a way where you become whole, which is what integrity means at the end of the day. Working towards something greater than yourself is going to give you that last leg of energy when you're about to give up. That's what's going to give you that second win. You got to make your story about something that's beyond your own success. My man Damon, he talks about it all the time. Yeah, happy birthday, Nikki C. That's what's up. That's what's up. Check it out, y'all. Damon is a real believer in, if you're an entrepreneur, it's all about growing your business, not just scaling it, right? Growing your business. And the thing about it is you're never going to grow until you create growth. Does that make sense, y'all? You're never going to grow without creating growth. So if you want to be the best leader you can be, then create the most leaders you can create. I hope this was helpful. I hope you found something in this that you can use. I hope at least 1 or 2 or 3 of these questions stuck with you. If you want to learn it fast, it breaks down to FAST. The F is join our Facebook group. Let me see if I can throw it on the screen. All right, well, that's also, okay, cool. So that's our newsletter as well. That comes out every Monday. Man, that last newsletter, I don't think I've ever gotten this much feedback. Y'all must have really enjoyed that last newsletter. I'm really happy about it. Make sure you send in all of your questions for Free Coaching Friday. But yeah, that's also the name of our Facebook group. So you may want to join the Facebook group, Entrepreneurishment. So that's the F in FAST. The A is get an accountability partner. Maybe it's somebody you see in the comments. Maybe it's somebody who wasn't here at all but needed to be. Maybe you call them or shoot them a text message like, hey, watch this. Pick out one of these questions that you're going to start to ask yourself on a daily basis or a weekly basis or a monthly basis if we're going real, real slow, right? And we're going to hold each other accountable to that. Now you have something to bond with this person over. And that's a good way for you to learn it and imbibe it and make it so that it becomes a part of your intrinsic character. The S is subscribe. So turn on your notifications. And then the T is leave a takeaway in the comments or teach somebody in your personal life something that you learned. So that's FAST. I love you all. You got to do your affirmations on your own because the live line is kind of crazy this morning. Not sure, what's going on with that. We'll get to the bottom of it, but check it out. You can also grab the affirmations toolkit from millionaireminded.com. There's links in the caption for the 90-day planner, for the coloring books and all of that. But also, you can order your affirmations toolkit and then you can play the affirmations for yourself. There's a guided meditation in there, all kinds of cool stuff. But I love you all. And remember, either your mind has to expand to match your goals or your goals will just start to shrink to match your mind. Let's get it, y'all.